Out earlier this year, didn't we, that Meghan Markle does not get all of her own way. It's interesting because time and time again she likes to put her own narrative, her own spin on things. And as we've seen recently with numerous interviews, she says one thing, contradicts it with another thing a little bit later on in the line, and if all that fails, blames someone else, like the journalist. But it appears that these particular people now are fighting back in droves. And as ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Nice to see you today, as ever. Look at that beautiful autumnal visage behind me. Everything's falling down. Not talking about my face, by the way, but it looks like that at times. And I think what's interesting, isn't it, when you look around about this time of year, you do sort of think, you know, will all the leaves come back on? Will it ever be that nice again? Do you ever think like that? You know, when you wander around in the summer and you don't need a jacket and everything, you think, can't believe it's out on here, boiling hot. Now you're freezing, aren't you? Thinking I wish I brought my scarf. Some people might say, of course, that Meghan Markle has been frozen out by many different people. Do you like that tenuous link then? And I think what's interesting about this is really this, because on a more serious note, we saw Meghan, didn't we, recently, doing the interview with Variety, the esteemed entertainment Bible. And as we told you, she was also trying to remove herself from any association with that Netflix deal, you know, claiming that she hoped their story, their docuseries would be told in the way that they would have wished, like they didn't have a partaking in it. Of course, they're executive producers, but now they're very concerned about how they're going to come across. But it's a previous interview that's really come back, and it's one really that even Meghan herself could not have really thought would have turned out so badly. Remember earlier this year when she sat down with the little-known magazine The Cut, which is printed in New York City. It was in this magazine that she said quite a few bombshells, which was of course prior to the sad demise of our wonderful monarch. But in that, remember, she did say that Prince Harry had lost his father too. Unlike her father, who's literally just down the road and she can't be bothered to go and see him, King Charles is very vibrant and we all know where he is at any given point. You know, perhaps Harry could have popped over to York to wave to him in the crowds if he was so desperate to see him. But that particular interview really did cut very badly in the, shall we say, moving forward for Harry and Meghan's brand. And now, even though Meghan recently came out and said that she was too trusting, she shouldn't have said those things because she was only meant to talk about the topics in hand and nothing to do with the monarchy. Despite all of that, the magazine, the editor, is simply standing by everything that was talked about and said and printed. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you sit down and you're a celebrity with a magazine, they record everything. I mean, the off conversation, literally everything, unless the celebrity basically asks you to turn off the recorder. And let's not forget that it was in the very same interview that Meghan said, "Do you want to know a secret?" This was all about her trying to claim she was going to be coming back to social media, as if she's not already on it. You get the picture. So for now, this could get even more, well, shall we say, distracting for the ex-royals, because if Meghan and Harry continue to pull apart that particular interview by The Cut, then it will appear that the publishers, the journalist and the editor are all geared up to make sure that they put their side of the story too. And once again, this could be particularly damaging along the lines of the book Revenge by Tom Bower, which, as we've told you, Harry and Meghan are simply not going to go legal with because they don't think it's worth their time. Others inside obviously believe that it's very difficult for them to counteract some of these claims, which seemingly now are set in stone. Either way, it looks like Meghan hasn't made the cut with The Cut magazine in New York, and they have no plans for a follow-up interview or indeed, as discussed, an interview to promote Prince Harry's forthcoming memoir. It seems whichever way you turn, if you're Meghan, you simply do cut people out. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.